How We Got Away with It. Tell me about the director.
How We Got Away with It is directed by John Lindstrom, who is known for his role on As the World Turns. And this was his directing debut. He did a fantastic job. He worked very quickly. So shooting, we would do like 2 or 3 takes, kind of wham bam, thank you ma'am, in and out, which was really fun. So you really had to be on your toes, and everyone really pulled their weight and worked together. They shot it for not much money, and so the whole experience was really vulnerable and intense, and it's gotten really great feedback from the community, which has been great. I write very it's a feeling when a song is hitting, or a performance is, I feel like I'm connecting to it. It's almost an ethereal kind of experience. Like it's not actually very intellectual. It's not like I'm going to write a song about this, but it will happen, and then it makes sense, and it feels good, and then I follow through with it.
Are they personal, or is it things you've thought about, things you felt about, things that happened?
I think they definitely, all my songs, they are personal. And some of them I know exactly what they're about, and sometimes it takes maybe 6 months to a year for me to figure it out. And then some of them are more from, like one of my songs, Magnolia, that's probably one of the most popular ones amongst my fans. I said recently, which makes sense to me, that it's not really about anything. It's more of like an image, and I have this image of a little girl on top of a magnolia tree during a storm, and that's the feeling of it. That's what it all comes from, but it's not linear. It's kind of more circular.
And what style are you trying to get when you actually perform the songs? What are you trying to?
I'm not trying to kind of regard myself in any one particular style. So my songs can range from being really Appalachian to more indie rock. I think the Southern influence comes up a lot, but I guess the style that I'm hoping to convey is just honest. And I don't want to push for anything or identify myself as a certain kind of genre, which could hurt me in the long run, but...
Have you done Johnny Cash covers?
I did. I just started to do this cover of Cry, 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 which I don't learn covers a lot, and then when I do, I love it. I just have to put the work in. And then I started to do a Supertramp cover, which has been really fun.
Do you work a lot on your songs, or do they come out, the ones you write?
It really depends how much I work on a song. Sometimes some of them I can remember writing in an afternoon, and then others it's taken a year to actually finish them. Like I'll write a first verse. I mean, I think a common story amongst songwriters is that you have a first verse and a first chorus, and then you're stuck. So you have all of these half songs sitting around, which I have a lot of half songs sitting around. And then a couple that I've worked on over the past years. I'm not writing as much in New York for some reason. Took about a year to actually gel, to like lock in.
How does the music and the lyrics come together?
They usually come together at the same time. Usually I'm first inspired by a rhythm or something on the guitar, and then often gibberish comes out with a melody that aren't words, but the sounds make sense, and then an image will happen, and then sometimes it'll snowball into a song, and sometimes it doesn't. And I have written a couple of songs where I've written poetry, or I'm just writing, and I'll fit that with a guitar part that I'm I've been working on.
And what about, how does the melody come about together with the harmonies and the background music and the...
It happens around the same time. I guess like as if I've got the beginning of a song and then it needs to go somewhere else, the guitar part will come and then the melody will come all like at the same time. And then eventually, hopefully, I'll have a complete song.
Has your music changed from the time, or how did it start, and what was your training, and how did that start begin, and then how has it changed since then?
I started singing when I was young. My father is a musician, and he is a recording engineer, and a lot of times he would need young girl vocals for some projects. And my sister always got to do it. And I was like, Daddy, please let... I just heard the story recently. He was like, I would beg him to let me do it. And he would always say, Michael, it's okay, Michael. Just, why don't you go play with your Barbie dolls? And then eventually I tried out for a school play. And they were doing this Disney rendition of Beauty and the Beast. And all the girls wanted to be Belle, so I tried out for LeFou. And I got it. And then my dad realized that I could sing. And he was like, oh. So I started singing then, and then, I grew up with my dad playing music all the time and having bands kind of come through the house, and I got a guitar, and I just started to write songs. I wrote 10 songs, and I played a show at a coffee shop when I was about 16, and then I haven't really stopped since then.
Your father come to the coffee shop show?
He did. He ran sound for me, and he recorded it. He's been recording my vocals for a really long time, so it's really nice to have him. I'm very lucky.
And your mom?
My mom isn't really musical, but she's creative and an angel. So.
What instruments did your dad play?
Oh, he plays everything. My dad he started to play drums when he was 13, and formed a band with his brothers. And his dad was kind of their manager, so they started making money when they were like 14, playing cover songs at local, I'm sure not bars, but at local events in Anderson, South Carolina.
Do you play the fiddle?
Yeah, I used to play, but classical. I didn't like to practice though, so I've got it on the wall there though, just because it looks cool. I think I write music in a similar way to how I listen to it. When I listen to it, I won't listen to the lyrics first. I get a feeling, and that will make me really love a song and listen to it over and over and over again, even if I don't know what it's about. And then eventually, it's like each song is full of surprises and full of discovery. So that's how I listen to music. It's how I read plays. It's how I read scripts,
That's how you perform.
It's how I perform, yeah.
Janis Joplin was once interviewed on a TV talk show. Mm-hmm. And the host asked her, what do you think about when you sing? Mm. And she said, I don't think, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, the best shows are when you're not thinking. I like to make things, so I think I'm a maker. I make songs. I want to make movies, make dinner, make picture frames, and I would love to have a career where I get to make movies, whether I'm in them or making them, which I'm about to try for the first time, and make songs. And that gives me more pleasure than I could ever imagine. So if I am lucky enough to be able to do all of that and get paid for it, then that's what I'd like to do.